been driving in my car. It don't look much, but I've been far.
Good day to you all. I hope we have all had a splendid week. I certainly have. Obviously, join me on my way to work. Got obviously it's a Sunday, as is the Sunday drive time feature. Yeah, so got about 112 booked today for Sunday lunch, which yet again is a bit sort of average, not really that busy. Couple of big pre-order tables today, so the majority of our bookings are actually within like 2 tables, so it should be quite a pleasant and easy running sort of day. So yeah, week we've had this week, obviously we've serviced the old girl, the old Corsa. We've done an oil and oil filter change, which obviously is the video is on the channel, so if you're interested in watching that. Next week, or at some point, I need to do the same to my fiance's car. I need to do a full service, however. I need to do an oil filter change and also do the spark plugs and the air filter. So I'll most likely do a video on that, but I obviously won't do the oil and oil filter because, you know, I've already done it. So it's not unnecessary to do another video on the same thing. Yeah, but it's been a very quiet week this week. It normally is at this time of year in January. Yeah, it's just been very unusually quiet. Even at the weekends, it's just it's not been very busy at all. I think a lot of areas in the, you know, a lot of places in the area are struggling, and you can definitely feel the effects of it now, especially with because we all know that obviously everything is so expensive, and yeah, you can see businesses, you know, are struggling. Businesses are closing. We've lost our pub in Findon, the Bell Inn, which is a very old, I believe 10th century travelling inn. Closed its doors last week due to obviously just not being able to keep the doors open. And it's a very old pub, dated and built before 1066, so I think it's before William the Conqueror. I think it was built in something like 1020 or something like that. Very, very old, obviously grade 1 listed pub. But yeah, it's very sadly shut now, which is a real shame. But yeah, just obviously well, yeah, Monday was quite quiet. Tuesday was very quiet as well. Wednesday, obviously we did our Fallout feature. We're obviously finished the end of season 2 of the Fallout show, which is fantastic, brilliant ending. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic. I think obviously now we'll use the Fallout feature to probably play some games, look at my collectibles and bits and bobs on that, sort of like, you know, just discuss more of the history and the lore behind the Fallout games, because it is incredible, really. It's fantastic. I also plan on doing a few, sort of like when the weather gets a bit better, some nice historic videos, sort of like about the history of where I live, and also the history of this wonderful county, which is Northamptonshire, and yeah, just give you some more stuff about my life. Obviously we did our first cooking show, which if you've not seen it is obviously on the channel, go and check it out. We did our my bread recipe, so it makes we did some bread, we did focaccia, and we also did a chocolate bread, which was very nice. Yeah, yesterday was obviously Friday. Saturday was busy-ish at work. Made some bits and bobs, made brownie. That is a recipe that we'll bring to you. Not too sure what to do next week at the minute, but if you want to comment, you know, things that you want to see, things that you want to see being made, or content that you wish to see, then please just comment below and give it a thumbs up and a like, because it's basically a blog about my life and about my interests and hobbies. So so the news this week, from what I can gather on Facebook, Instagram, and that is well I was looking on the news today, and it turns out that obviously the issues in America with the ICE is still very bad, ridiculously bad, where we're seeing government agents literally opening fire on just innocent people, and it's really disgusting, to be honest. It's not very nice at all. It needs sorting out. I really don't know what Mr. Trump is planning or doing, to be honest. So it's not the greatest situation in the world in the minute at all. They also my favourite TV show, The Grand Tour, which we all know was basically Jeremy, Richard and James carrying on their obviously Top Gear adventure. So they have now cast 3 new presenters, 2 car enthusiasts, one of them called Thomas Holland. I believe he is a drifter. I think he does drifting, stuff like that. And also, I'm not too sure on the other person, but the third person is the train guy called Francis Bollinger, I think. Bollinger, I have no idea. I'm guessing it's French surname. But yes, he is going to be one of the presenters of the new Grand Tour. And if you don't know him, he is the train guy from TikTok. And you see him doing videos where he has that camera really close in front of his face. And so he's going to be one of the new presenters. I'm hoping they make a good job of it. I'm really hoping that it's not going to be like how Top Gear ended up, because obviously Top Gear ended up casting 3 new presenters and it was just ruined from the start. And obviously now, sadly, Top Gear is not it's not on anymore. The show has been axed now by the BBC. I mean, when the new presenters first took over, which was Chris Evans, Matt LeBlanc and Rory Reid, I think it was, or Eddie Jordan, they had so many different people, you couldn't actually focus. Blimey. Some people carry a taxi has just gone right up the arse of this car that was overtaking this horse box. Absolutely no need to do that at all. But yes, anyway, the first new Top Gears, you could not tell who was presenting the show, because they had Sabine Smith, God rest her soul. They also had Eddie Jordan, they had Matt LeBlanc, they had Chris Evans, they had Chris Harris doing a few pieces, and they also had Rory Reid doing a few pieces. Chris Evans was awful, didn't like him at all. Matt LeBlanc weren't too bad. Chris Evans was, no, not Chris Evans, Eddie Jordan, obviously the big man behind Formula One. One of the, well, not big man, but he's the one of the commentators. He was just a bit silly and a bit stupid. But you never had that bond, that connection that the original trio had. And that what was missing. Longer down the line, they changed it up to have Matt LeBlanc, Chris Harris and Rory Reid, which was actually, they were a good trio. They worked really well. They were good. And then, I think it was in the final couple of series, you had Chris Harris which is a famous racing driver. You had also Matt LeBlanc, brilliant, and also you had Paddy McGuinness, no likey, no lighty, him from Take Me Out, and he's now doing Inside the Factory. But he's quite comical, he's quite funny. Those three worked really well. And then it changed again to because Matt LeBlanc left, and instead we had the cricketer Freddie Flintoff. Yet again, three of them really did, really good. And then in the final, I think it was the final episodes, or they were filming the latest series of Top Gear, and Freddie Flintoff sadly had quite a nasty accident and ended up breaking his nose, which I understand from that point forwards, I think the BBC decided that the show was too dangerous and sadly axed the show, so it's no longer on. But gladly, you can watch all of the Top Gear episodes, including the original ones, all the way back to 2002 with the original three on BBC iPlayer. So yeah, you can watch all the original stuff, like the amphibious car challenge and the limo challenge and the lorry driving and the police car challenge as well. So just some of the real classics. The one where they make that hover van, and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's the main sort of news this week, really, is those few bits. Sadly, some idiot here at Frapston had decided to dump a load of old motor oil and tyres onto the side of the A14, and it's contaminated the water. So that's a bit of an issue that's going on now around here. On Thursday, I went with my parents to a lovely little coffee shop in Oundle called the Lemon Tree. Really nice, lovely place, right in the heart of a historic town. Go and check it out. It's called the Lemon Tree. Couldn't find them on Facebook, so I don't think they have an account. But yes, go find them. Is my parking space available? Oh, it looks like it is. This is good. And yeah, and on that note, that is obviously the end of this episode of Sunday Drive Time. Obviously, it is quiet at the minute, and you can see that businesses are struggling. Support local. Try and support local as much as you can, because if you go to a big chain company like a Wetherspoons or a Nando's or a Ben and Jerry's or whatever, if they have a quiet month, it's not going to affect them, because they've got branches all over the world and all over the country. It's not to affect them. But like my pub, we do some wonderful food, brilliant food. It's all fresh, it's all locally sourced. So just go and support your local pub or your local restaurant, and just go and support local, because when these businesses go out of business, then you do realise and you do see a loss. So yeah, go and support local. We'll see you next week for another edition. So for now, ta-ra.